For the first time in modern history, the fundamental contract of work is being rewritten. Not by CEOs in boardrooms, but by a seismic demographic power shift happening right now in every office on every Slack channel across the globe. The numbers are staggering, signaling a point of no return. The U.S. Department of Labor confirms that in the third quarter of 2023, the number of Gen Z workers officially surpassed baby boomers for the first time. And the pace is only accelerating. By 2025, according to projections from TeamStage, and Untitled Millennials and Gen Z will constitute over 2/3 and possibly as much as 75% of the entire global workforce. Gen Z Employee 22. I just want to know my work means something you know, and I want my voice to be heard. Millennial Manager 34. The old playbook is out. We have to adapt to entirely new ways of working, communicating, leading, or we'll be left behind. This isn't just about new faces in the break room. It's a collision of values, technologies, and life experiences, a handover of power on an unprecedented scale. The question is no longer if your workplace will change, but how. So are you ready for this transition? Don't miss out on insightful workplace culture analysis. Hit the subscribe button now to catch our latest episodes. Want to keep up? Watch now. The 7 trends these two generations are creating. 1. The new lay of the land, a generational snapshot. Today's workplace is a living museum of modern history. For a brief, unique window, we have up to 5 distinct generations working side by side. The baby boomers, the generation that defined post-war corporate culture, are now retiring at a rate of 10,000 per day, their share of the labor force rapidly shrinking. Holding the center is the pragmatic, skeptical Generation X, a crucial but smaller cohort now in their peak leadership years, often acting as the bridge between the old guard and the new. But the real story of the 2020s belongs to the 2 cohorts now dominating the landscape. Meet the new majority. As of mid-2024, millennials are the largest single group, making up about 36% of the labor force. Hot on their heels are Gen Z, who have exploded onto the scene. They have already captured an 18% share, a number that grows with every graduating class and is projected to reach 30% by 2030. Together, they are not just a part of the workforce, they are the workforce. This isn't just a demographic cliff from retirements, it's a demographic reshuffle. The challenge isn't just about filling empty seats, but about integrating a massive new cohort that arrives with an entirely different operating system. 2. Prominent generational differences, decoding the why. To navigate this new landscape, we have to move beyond stereotypes and understand the why behind the what. To understand millennials, you have to remember their brutal entry into the world of work. Many graduated directly into the teeth of the 2008 financial crisis, one of the worst job markets since the Great Depression. This experience bred a unique blend of pragmatism and idealism. They became the champions of flexible work, but also crave financial stability. Gen Z, in stark contrast, has no memory of a world without the internet. They are true digital natives, a term that barely scratches the surface of how deeply technology is integrated into their being. Their formative years were shaped not by a single economic crash, but by what EY terms a polycrisis, persistent climate anxiety, social polarization, and a global pandemic. This has forged them into a generation that is hyper-aware, relentlessly value-driven, and systematically impatient with any form of inefficiency. The differences are stark across the board. A 2024 Deloitte report found that half of Gen Z have rejected a work assignment that clashed with their values. They will walk away from a job that has a negative environmental impact or contributes to inequality. In communication, while millennials perfected the professional email, Gen Z lives on instant messaging. A Deloitte survey found they prefer chat-based communication over email or formal meetings by a margin of 74%. What a millennial manager often perceives as impatience in a Gen Z employee is something else entirely. It's not a character flaw, it's a logical reaction from someone who grew up with seamless one-click user interfaces. They don't see a complex approval process as a rite of passage, they see it as a bug in the system's code that needs to be fixed. Similarly, while both generations champion work-life balance, their approach differs. Millennials fought for flexibility, Gen Z enters the workforce assuming it's the default setting and has moved the conversation to a deeper integration of well-being, with 92% of recent graduates wanting to discuss mental health at work. 3. When Worlds Collide, a case study in misunderstanding. To see this dynamic in the wild, we visited Innovatic, a fast-growing software startup. We spoke with the CEO, a late millennial named Alex, and one of his rising star developers, Chloe, a 22-year-old Gen Z hire. They shared a story of a recent conflict. Alex, millennial CEO, we had this established multi-step process for code review. It was designed to be thorough. When Chloe joined, she almost immediately started questioning it in our public Slack channel. Why do we have 3 separate sign-offs? This could all be automated. Frankly, my first reaction was, who is this kid? Show some patience, learn the ropes first. Chloe, Gen Z developer. I just saw a broken workflow. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I was trying to fix a problem that was wasting our most valuable resource developer time. To me, being direct and pointing it out was the most helpful thing I could do. An Alex, millennial CEO. After my initial frustration, I took a step back. She walked me through the tools she was talking about, and she was right. We implemented a new process that cut our review time by 40%. I realized what I called patience was just my attachment to an old way of doing things. Her impatience was a drive for innovation. An organizational psychologist would explain this as a classic clash of formative experiences. Millennials scarred by the 2008 crash learned that following established processes meant job security. They value structure. Gen Z, shaped by the frictionless speed of the internet, sees inefficient processes as a sign of an unstable organization. They value speed and directness. So one generation's due diligence is another's unnecessary friction. 4. Building bridges. The two-way adaptation. The smartest companies aren't waiting for these conflicts to fester. They're proactively building bridges. Many are running workshops to teach managers that when a Gen Z employee asks why, it's not an act of insubordination, it's a request for context and purpose. But the learning can't only flow one way. One of the most powerful tools emerging is reverse mentorship. The concept, famously pioneered by former GE CEO Jack Welch, is now being adopted by companies like Procter & Gamble and PwC to bridge generational gaps. The premise is simple but revolutionary. A junior employee mentors a senior leader. Leo, Gen Z mentor. I'm helping Sarah understand how to leverage TikTok's new creator analytics platform. It's not just about the technology, it's about the culture of the platform, the speed of the trends. Sarah, Gen X mentee. And in return, I'm coaching Leo on how to present his findings to the C-suite. He has these brilliant insights, but he needs to frame them in a narrative that speaks to long-term brand strategy and ROI. He teaches me the what, and I help him with the so what for leadership. This is effective knowledge transfer. In a healthy, multi-generational culture, knowledge flows in all directions, creating a more resilient, skilled, and innovative organization. It's a Rosetta Stone approach to corporate culture. 5. The leadership evolution, the new boss. Perhaps the most profound change of all is happening in the manager's chair. Millennials, the generation once stereotyped as entitled, are now the ones managing the new youngest generation. And this crucible is forging an entirely new style of leadership. We spoke with Michael, a 35-year-old department head. Michael, millennial manager. My first time managing a team of mostly Gen Z employees was a shock. We launched a new anonymous feedback tool, and my first piece of feedback was brutally honest. It said, Michael's team meetings often lack a clear agenda, causing them to run long and waste our time. My old boomer boss would have tried to fire them, but this Gen Z employee just stated it as a fact. It stung for a day, and then I realized it was a gift. I tightened up my agendas, my meetings got shorter and more productive. That directness, which initially felt like a personal attack, was a shortcut to my improvement. This experience is not just changing millennial managers, it's shaping the leaders of tomorrow. We also spoke to an employee on Michael's team, Fatima. A Fatima Gen Z employee. Seeing how Michael took that feedback and acted on it without getting defensive was huge for us. It showed me that leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about listening. That's the kind of boss I want to be someday. This is the leadership transition in a nutshell. The old top-down command and control model is dying. In its place, a more democratic, empathetic, and feedback-driven style is emerging not because it was taught in a business school fad, but because the new generation of workers simply won't respond to anything else. 6. The bottom line doesn't work. So does all this empathy and flexibility improve the bottom line? The data is increasingly clear. Yes, it does. A 2024 study in the journal Frontiers in Psychology found that generational diversity is a double-edged sword. When managed well with inclusive leadership, it significantly increases cognitive conflict, the healthy, robust debate over ideas and strategies, and it is this cognitive conflict that directly boosts team innovation. This is supported by broader economic research. A joint report by the World Economic Forum, AARP, and the OECD calculated that investing in and fostering a multi-generational workforce could raise a country's GDP per capita by nearly 19% over 3 decades. While it's difficult to isolate a single ROI number, the principle is consistent with other forms of diversity. Landmark research from McKinsey establishes a powerful correlation. Companies in the top quartile for leadership diversity are significantly more likely to have financial returns above their national industry medians. The underlying mechanism is the same. A wider range of perspectives leads to better decision-making and a stronger bottom line. The consensus is clear. Harnessing the power of the generational shift isn't just a nice-to-have HR initiative, it's a core business strategy. 7. Conclusion: the future after the transition. The great generational shift is far from over. We are living in the messy, challenging, and exhilarating middle of it. As more baby boomers retire and Gen Z's numbers continue to swell, the trends we've explored today, radical flexibility, purpose-driven work, and empathetic leadership, will cease to be trends. They will become the undisputed bedrock of modern workplace culture. In the coming decade, we will witness a fascinating role reversal. Millennials will fully transition from being the disruptors to being the new establishment, the new management generation. They will be the ones tasked with integrating the next generation, Gen Alpha, whose oldest members are already interning in our offices. And Gen Z will step into the leadership roles they are already redefining. The future of work they are building together has the potential to be more productive, more innovative, and fundamentally more human. As a leader from EY eloquently put it, when generations truly understand each other, the workplace is no longer just a place to earn a living. It becomes a place to grow together. The story of the generational shift isn't just something happening out there. It's happening to you right now in your career. The friction you feel, the opportunities you see, you are not alone. It's the sound of the future of work being born. Share your own stories about multi-generational work experiences. We'd love to hear them. And remember to subscribe to GenShift for other in-depth episodes exploring specific aspects like feedback, conflict, and more.